Hello everyone, my name is Emma, and today I will be presenting to you my project, A Journey Across the Worlds of the Clefs. So let me provide a brief background on this project. As a longtime student at Oclef, I've been able to explore composition and mixing, and I've been able to integrate what I've learned into my previous past projects, especially my second album, Dreamcatcher, which I released in 2021. At the time that I finished this project, Genshin Impact had become a really popular game that I also enjoyed playing, not just because of the action and storyline, but because its music encompasses so many genres, including rock and classical, and it's also inspired by a lot of cultures, from both the Western and Asian cultures. So I decided that I wanted my next path project to combine everything that I learned from my time at Oclef, which are composing, arranging, mixing, and performing. And I thought Genshin would be the perfect theme for this because it would allow me to experiment with the different instruments and genres as a fun challenge, and also allow me to show my fellow students the potential of what they can create with composing and mixing. So the overall goal of this project is to create 8 songs total, each representing different characters from different regions of Genshin Impact. There will be 4 categories, 2 songs per category, which are Inazuma, Liyue, Mondstadt, and the overall storyline. From each category, I selected one song to be released as a single, which I underlined here. So all the songs will be accompanied with an arrangement that I created through Sibelius and an electronic orchestral track, which I would create through GarageBand and Logic Pro. The 4 songs that I selected to be singles will also be accompanied with a music video featuring Synthesia, which is visual music. So by the end of this project, we will have 8 arrangements or sheet musics, 1 album with 8 songs, 4 singles, and 4 music videos to accompany them. So now I will go more into the process of what I go through for each single song. The first step is arranging. I would use Sibelius, and referencing the original music videos would compose the song. And then I would add tempo, dynamics, and notation, as you can see here. So the main challenges in this step is mostly deciding which instruments and voices to incorporate, and which ones to leave for the next step, which is mixing. This is because a lot of the songs I selected from Genshin Impact are orchestral, meaning that they have a lot of different instruments with different melodies playing all at once. So I had to decide which ones I wanted to emphasize in the piece. And secondly, I had to decide how much I wanted to stray from the original song. I tried to keep the arrangement as similar as possible, but I make minor changes here and there so that it could translate more easily to the piano. And also, some of the songs were shorter than usual, so I had to improvise and extend them. So this is an example of a song that I recently completed. As you can see, there's a lot of different textures and notations, and usually my arrangement would range between 7 to 8 pages. So now on to the second step, which is mixing. I would use GarageBand and Logic Pro. I would transfer the arrangement from Sibelius as a bass, and then I would add any missing instruments such as strings, percussion, brass, to give the track a much fuller and developed sound. The main challenge in this step is that sometimes the system would glitch, especially later on when you add more and more instruments, and it can be difficult to pinpoint where exactly the source of the mistake is. This is because if the song sounds slightly off, it could be from a lot of different reasons, such as a wrong note, a delayed track, or a malfunctioning instrument. So it would definitely take a while to find it. But once you do, it allows you to fix the mistakes pretty easily, which I really enjoy about this process. And overall, it's my favorite step because it gives you the freedom to choose the instruments you want and adjust the way they sound to your liking. And the best part is probably listening back and seeing how everything just comes together. So here are a few screenshots that I took from Logic Pro. On the top here is what we call an equalizer, which I use to balance the frequencies in the music, such as the bass and treble. On the right, on top here, we have what's called chroma. I use this to create an ambiance. For example, if I wanted my music to sound echoey and ethereal, I would place it in an orchestra chamber. But if I wanted to sound more clear and precise, I would place it in a small room. And right below the chroma here is what I call the adaptive limiter. This prevents the music from peaking due to high volume, and it would definitely allow me to develop my songs more, especially in the more dramatic and exciting parts of the song. So if I'm working on a single, then I would move on to the third step, which is recording. Now that I have both my arrangement and background track, I would use them both to practice and prepare. And when I'm ready, I will go to the Oclef Music School studio at night and perform on the keyboard to transfer my performance to Logic for the music video. It's a pretty straightforward process overall, But the main challenges for this step is that I would have to do multiple retakes, especially for the more difficult pieces, and the keyboard would often feel lighter than the piano that I used to practice on, so my performance might come out sounding slightly different than I'm used to. But overall, it's nothing too difficult. And now for the final step, editing and publishing. I would use both the applications CMusic and InShot. CMusic I would use specifically to create Synthesia, which is visual music. You can see like the bars here, that is Synthesia. And I would also use InShot in order to combine my Synthesia and background track with the recording footage I took at the studio and the original music video, which you can see here. This is definitely the easiest of the 4 steps, but it can get pretty tedious at times if I have multiple clips from recording. I have to make sure that they transition as smoothly as possible and not look too choppy. And secondly, transferring and uploading the videos and clips might compromise the video quality, so I try to minimize doing that as much as I can. But after this step, the song is complete and ready for publishing. So this is an incomplete version of a video that I've been working on recently. It has all the main components combined, so let's take a look. So as you can see, in the background here is the original music video. Below that is a recording of me performing on the keyboard. And you can see the Synthesia here syncing up with the keyboard. So yeah, that's the main idea of the video. And so, in conclusion, what did I learn from this project? Overall, I really enjoyed working on this project because it allowed me to work on a lot of different music styles and expand my knowledge even further on composing and mixing music. And I definitely couldn't have done any of this without the guidance and support of my mentors at Oclef, who have helped me a lot during this process. Beyond the technical challenges I faced in this project, I also struggled with balancing this project with the other demands of school and sports, and this process basically extended way past my initial deadlines, which was hard to deal with at first. But it taught me to adapt to any schedule changes and plan ahead for when they happen. And probably more importantly, I used to focus a lot on trying to perfect each song and make it look as professional as possible, like the songs on Spotify and videos on YouTube. But I learned that it was pretty difficult to achieve that level of quality because I don't have the proper equipment and also not enough experience. So this basically taught me to focus more on how I would progress throughout the project. The more songs I completed, the more easily the process came to me, and I would complete them even faster. And also, it would allow me to experiment and develop on my songs even more. This is definitely apparent when I look back at the songs I completed at the beginning of the video versus ones completed more recently. It definitely has become more detailed and dynamic over time, which is very amazing to see. And so overall, I think what I've learned the most is that it really taught me to appreciate the journey. Because while my original goal was to help others see music in a different light, it also helped me gain a new perspective on this project. The journey is not just important, if not more important than the destination, and I'm so glad that I decided to take it. It helped me learn a lot. And that's it for my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. My album, A Journey Across the Land of Tibet, will be released very soon, and I look forward to sharing it with you. See you soon.